Welcome back, everyone, to the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin here. As we've decided with the original Hershey Kiss, it's my man, Don Hutchinson. Hutch, first semifinal in the books. It was Ernest Golbis, straight set win over Ramkumar Ramanathan. Now we get to semifinal number 2. We've got two players, vastly different paths, but two guys played some serious good tennis over these first few days of this event. Mukund Sasikumar, one half, I should say, the inaugural doubles champions here at this event. He and Vijay Prashanath earning that title on Monday. Yesterday for him, or in the singles group play, I should say, was a 2-0 performance. He knocks off both, I believe, KP Panu as well as Chad Kissel. On the other side of the net, it was, according to the cookie committee, and I've been told by Mrs. Emke, it's now a formal cookie committee here, but Mrs. Emke agreeing with us, our Mrs. Emke chocolate chip cookie player of the day on day 2, Roy Smith, who, even though he went 2-1, was absolutely phenomenal. Beats Rom yesterday, beats Bible yesterday, was a third set tiebreaker loss to Chris Eubanks in a match that featured no breaks of serve, only the one double fault really separating them in the breaker. Should be a really fun match. Should be a really fun contrast of styles, Hutch.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the big power guy over there in Smith, and you got the really smooth player here in Sasikumar. Yeah, it should be a wonderful match here. Yeah, great mix of talents. And in my thought process here, Smith was great inside, fast court, no elements. Can Roy perform that well outside today with some elements and a little slower court?
He returned really well in the doubles on Monday, but of course now we can say the 4 best words in the English dictionary. Let's play some tennis.
And watch out for Sasikumar's backhand return. That thing has been money. Just jinxed him.
That's half the fun, right?
Of course. Oh, my goodness. Mukund's going to look over here and say, quiet there, Hutch. Don't say it. In that lefty servo, there might present a few little problems here from Mukund early. That's Sasikumar. But he'll figure it out. Wow.
There it is. And of course, for Sasikumar, this is your first time seeing him play. Does such a good job catching that ball early on the rise on both wings. Compact forehand, but it's been the backhand side for me that's really stood out. Hutch, curious your impressions.
Yeah, he gets himself on balance really good, and usually his body weight's headed right toward the target. Exactly what you try to teach. He's a great-looking young player.
His tennis isn't bad either. But that's the forehand. The +1 combo for Roy Smith was, I'm going to say it, dominant yesterday.
Yeah, that's a power play. Roy's got big strength over there, big off both wings, big serve. If he can make all those shots today, he's going to make this a heck of a match.
So now 30-15 here.
Wow. Yeah, that is one athletic move right there. And he's still rocking your favorite shorts, Alex.
No, it's just, I mean, today's worth it because, again, it's just so freaking hot outside. Like, I totally get I almost said the less clothes, the better. I don't know if I'm ready to say that, but I get why you're trying to be as comfortable as possible out there. At the same time, if you've got it, show it off. Of course, for Roy Smith, it does feel like all of his game starts with those legs, the power he's able to generate. Talked about it yesterday. There's a freneticness twitchiness to his game.
Yeah, big serve.
I had a coach describe it to me, say when Roy Smith is good, he is really freaking good. Now, we talked yesterday, he can be a little one-speedy, but that one-speed working here in Pennsylvania this week, he takes a 1-love lead at our first turn. And, of course, again, if this is your first match joining us, welcome. We appreciate you taking the time. We're not going to speak even into existence that other event happening right now. But, of course, there are some storylines around the tennis world. Hutch and I will be monitoring throughout the course of this. Western Southern Open results, the U.S. Open wildcards were scheduled to come out 10 a.m. today. They have not yet come out. And, you know, tennis players don't run on time. That's just the law of the land. But as soon as those names come out, we'll be sure to talk about them, talk about the impact of that. For now, we're locked in on the action here. Roy Smith, 1-love lead. You look on the flip side of the net, Mukund Sasikumar, currently 320 in the world, had a top 200 ranking, seemed poised to be capturing and entering that top 150, top 100 range before the COVID-19 pandemic slowed his momentum. He's serving now on the far side of your screen.
Ooh, just missed.
So he can miss. It's good to know.
Didn't miss by much.
No, and again, in terms of playing closest to their peak here over these first 3 days, the answer is Roy Smith.
Yeah, he had a great day yesterday.
Great day, and you'll see it here. He's just hitting every return cleanly, even when they're a little long, even when they're in the net tape. Everything's been clean. Again, that's a good strike. Just misses that one in the net now.
Yeah, he's getting close on that. Trying to find the timing here in Sasikumar's serve. Good spot on that serve.
Oh, it's a good service game. Clean start for Mukund Sasikumar. 1-all here in set number 1 again. In case this is the first match joining us. It's a fast 4 format here. Sets up to 4, win by 2, except for tiebreaker at 3-all. Those tiebreakers played to 7, win by 2. If we reach a third set, we will go to a 10-point tiebreaker. Now again, we know there's some rain scheduled in the future here today in Pennsylvania. We're going to try and play outdoors as much as we can. So I imagine they're going to try and start the final as quick as possible here today after this match.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Just missed.
In that case, we might be able to see our wives tonight for dinner, Hutch.
Yeah. First time in like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't have a wife. I have Westhoff. That's really it. But at least Mrs. Hutch will get to see you.
That's right, yeah. Whether she wants to or not.
Yeah. No, she's like, yeah. Take them, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
Please. But of course, love 15 here now. For Sasikumar. Again, Roy Smith played all 3 of his matches yesterday, was not broken in any of those matches, Hutch.
Yeah, that's some serious serving.
We
But
know
of course, inside no element.
Yeah.
That's server's delight, being a server myself. And out here, you got to deal with a little wind, some bugs, some birds, some sun.
Yeah. Do you describe yourself as a server? That's how we would describe you? You're not a Hershey Kiss, you're a server?
Well, in my not so heyday of my tennis career, I was a little bit of a serve and volleyer.
Yeah, I'm a returner through and through.
There you go.
I'm asking, flip the coin, I'll return. I'll receive. It's fine.
I never asked to receive. I was always a server.
I will always say I'd like that side, the other side of wherever the coin toss is, and then I laugh and I say, no, I'm just kidding. I'll take this one. It's fine. It's a really nice return there, though, from Sasikumar, just to neutralize that ball, get it into the Roy Smith backhand. He's had so much +1 success here.
Yeah,
in singles.
Sasikumar, it's interesting that return. Very little backswing,
Yeah.
little Agassi-like.
So concise.
Yeah, great looking shot. Yeah, Smith trying to use that lefty hook way out wide, open up the court. Which he's serving over the strength of Sasikumar. And the Sasikumar two-handed backhand from the ad side returning is strong shot. He just knocked Roy Smith back and kind of set up the point.
No, I'm 30 all here again in this fast four format. That one break of serve, so valuable. How did Ram describe it? A mini chance, or he's a mini opportunity, or something here.
Yeah, little mini opportunities.
And that's exactly what. That's exactly, excuse me, what Mukund has here now.
Wow.
40-30.
Yeah, that's just great ball strike.
So now 40-30 here. Again, a big first serve can erase all of your problems. Let's see what he's got.
Sweet.
So Roy Smith continuing his success here on serve. He earns the hold 4-2-1 here in the first set. And Alex Gruskin joined by my main man Hutch here on this isn't a beautiful day. Sticky day here.
See, well, it's beautiful because it's not raining.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely difficult conditions here in Reading, Pennsylvania.
The Vaps are doing a great job this morning because we see it's all wet where we are.
And we are going to be joined after the first set. I'm going to kick you out of the booth, Hutch, just for a quick minute. Don't worry. I'd have anxiety, withdrawal if you were gone for too long. But, of course, we are going to be joined by Vaptors' Justin Stewart, co-founder. Might have the biggest biceps here on site throughout the course of the few days.
You know, I've been lifting to try to get there. I'm just not quite there yet.
I haven't been, and I'm not there. But we've certainly seen the Vaptor crew they've been outstanding. I mean, they were the MVPs, were they not?
Oh, yeah.
Of the first few days.
They've been great.
And, I mean, I've never seen a court dry that efficiently, that quickly. They get, I would say, 96.2% of the water off the court immediately. That last 3.8% easy to dry at that point. And it's the next step in in court drying technology.
Yeah, it's amazing. The court is immediately ready for play.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to let wind do it when when you're using the squeegee and the towel. This thing is immediately ready for play.
And all they need is an engine on it, a couple of wheels. Let me drive it. Stick shift.
Zamboni.
Second gear.
Zamboni for a tennis court.
Exactly. I think that exists, but honestly, the Raptors significantly better. Sasikumar here, trying to get the better of Roy Smith. 1-2, first set. Huh.
That's sweet. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeesh.
And of course, Mukund joined here by his I think I saw his parents here on site as well.
Mom.
Mom is here. Mom is here. Also joined by his coach.
Martin.
Yeah, Coach
Coach Martin. Yep.
He might be the most intense guy.
Intense
on site.
And a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Good man. From Vienna. Wow.
And might be a future AA baseball player. As we learned on Monday for Martin. Super Sunday. Super excited by all of that action. But now, to your point, the team here for Mukund, and again, the winner going to take on Ernest Golbis in our singles final. Going to try and get that match in before the rain comes. Stay outdoors as long as we can here today.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice volley work up there by Roy Smith.
Now it's Smith with the mini opportunity. Hutch. 15-30 here.
Let's see where Sasikumar goes. If I were him, I think I'd try to pick on the backhand a little bit. Yeah, T would be the spot. Let's see what happens here. Yep. Probably a wise place to go. Probably the same thing, second serve here, T body. Oh boy, you want to, maybe he didn't hit his spot, but yeah. He was on the defense immediately. He gave Roy Smith a forehand return, exactly what Roy wants, and backed him up a little bit. And here's some real opportunities for Roy Smith.
Again, I do like this matchup for Mukund. The heavy forehand spin of Roy Smith, the lefty, to provide that spin for Mukund. You saw him there, very little backswing, just uses that pace and tries to hit it to the spot. But to your point, that backhand goes in the net. And as we saw in in our first match, a break in this fast four format as valuable as anything. 2 break chances for Smith here.
Oh boy.
And it's a sloppy start.
Yeah.
More Sasikumar here. So now Smith can have a chance to serve for the set.
Hasn't been broken in about a day and a half.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't think he was broken in doubles either.
I don't think he was.
So yeah, so that's 2.5 days. That's wow. It took me 5 full seconds to go from 1.5 days to 2.5. That was a low point. That was not proud of that moment. I think I was just disqualified for Cookie Player of the Day.
You might be ODing on this thing.
Yeah, I've got chocolate chip. My blood is half chocolate chip.
Huge.
But of course, I also think I've still got a little cheesecake in me as well from the Sweet Shop, and I know they had some leftovers. And of course, a huge thank you to our friends. It's called Sweet Shop, correct?
Sweet Street.
Sweet Street, excuse me.
Yep, they're awesome.
Well, it's a Sweet Shop on. It's a Sweet Street Sweet Shop.
Exactly.
Just the best desserts in the business. We thank them for their support of this event.
Yeah, boy, Roy
We
Smith.
thank Roy Smith for his serving performance here, and
wow.
just again, there's only one serve of his I think we poke questions with. It's when he hits that kick out wide against the righty. It's just sometimes that one sits a little bit short, but the other 5 spots on the serving court, he's hit them all.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with it.
So 30 love, 2 points away. Huh.
Wow.
I think that's our biggest serve of the day.
That was huge.
120, if not more, down the tee for Roy Smith. He's got triple set point now.
Yeah, if Roy keeps on serving like this, it's going to be a short day for Sasikumar. You can't do anything with those.
Roy keeps serving like this, that Golbis match might be 20 minutes. It's because it's just going to be hold after hold after hold.
Yeah, you can only guess on that. That's a big pace. It's got to be 120, 125.
That's a really clean set of tennis from Roy Smith. The former Baylor Bear standout takes the first set 4-1 over Mukund Sasikumar. Again, Hutch, we're going to ask you step out the booth momentarily so we can have our friends over at Vaptor on here, but just your final thoughts on that first set, Roy's performance there.
Well, really clean performance by Roy Smith. He did a great job breaking once. He served and held all the other times. I mean, he's going to be tough to beat if he keeps that up.
No, again, he's playing super solid tennis, and again, with just the weapons he can play with, that serve, that forehand.
Are we going to let Justin in?
I believe so. Once we see him, I know he's coming this way, working his way over.
Want me to go see if I can find him?
I know he's coming this way in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you for everything. Take care. Good luck in New York.
Take care.
Yeah, of course. And you hear us talking to Kumar Ramanathan coming over saying thank you. Again, classiest guy in the business. Thanking all the ball kids as
really
well.
Nice guy.
Can we send him off with a cookie, cheesecake, something?
Rom? Throwing at him?
Rom, did you get cookies for the road? Cookies for the road? He's good. He says he's good. He's got a grand slam coming up. That makes sense. But, of course, yes, I know Justin working his way over. I know Dalton had found him. I think he's going to the bathroom.
Okay.
I don't know why you all want that update. I apologize. That was one of those times I should have realized you're on mic, Alex. Come on.
Too much information?
I think it's the number one. No, I'm just kidding. First of all, just making it up as I go here. But again,
number one, first serve.
Yeah, exactly. Number one in our hearts is what I'm trying to say. Number one in drying courts faster than ever before, our friends over at Vaptor. Meanwhile, we see, again, Sasikumar will serve first here in set number 2. He and Roy Smith returning to the court now. That was a really nice set of tennis by Roy.
Yeah, one of Roy's best.
I'm not just saying that because he's right in front of us right now. Seriously, just another super clean serving performance.
Would have been a college ace.
I think that comment was just for me. I appreciate that. It would have been a college ace.
There you go. Yeah, you gave me one of those yesterday.
That sounds familiar. That's okay. There's nothing I like hearing quoted more than myself.
You only gave me one, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. I think you, dare I say, used that quote well, my friend. Again, for Mukund Sasikumar here, 30-15. Key for him not to let this one escape, get away quickly, because again, fast 4 format, one break set's essentially done.
Yeah, he's got to step it up here at the beginning of the second set, and Roy Smith has got to make sure he doesn't have a little mental letdown for playing so darn good that first set.
No doubt about that, although, again, it's, as you mentioned, 2.5 days for Roy Smith where he sustained this level.
Yeah. Too good. Here comes Justin.
Here he comes over. We'll get him on the first changeover for sure. 40-15 here for Mukund Sasikumar. There it is. Mukund holds 4-1 love. So we're going to swap out Hutch. We'll get to him momentarily. In the meantime, let's bring him in now. The man behind the racket technology that is taking the tennis Twitter world by storm. The amount of inquiries I've had, Alex, What was that in that video? What is Vaptor? How can I find it? What exactly is the process behind it? There is no better person to tell us about all things Vaptor than the man joining us in the booth now, Justin Stewart. Justin, first of all, is it guaranteed by beyond the courts? Is it guaranteed I'm going to get to have your body if I use a Vaptor? Because I mean, man, you are in shape, my friend.
We send a nutritional program with each machine. You can look at it and see if it works for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll get right on that. But of course, the reason we wanted to have you on, anyone who's been in tennis, if you were good in your local community, you probably worked for your coach. And if you worked for your local coach, at some point it rained in the summer and the squeegees came out. There is nothing I enjoy less than squeegeeing a freaking court. It just never seems to work. No matter how hard you try, it seems like the court is still wet. I watched with my own eyes yesterday. It took less than 10 minutes for Vaptor to routinely dry off these courts. Tell me about the technology. Tell me about the inspiration.
Thank you for good questions. So I'm a pickleball player.
Okay.
And I love the sport. And I was participating in drying a court and finding it exceptionally frustrating, painful even. And I am strong and pushing down on the squeegees to hurt your hands, using towels. It seemed so
17th century-ish. It really does.
It seemed debasing.
Yeah, exactly.
And painful. And it's been something I think that's gone on unquestioned for a while. And I set out, I just thought to myself, I know I can make something that'll do a better job of this. And a year and a half ago, I started that pursuit. Began experimenting with prototypes, from parts that I would throw together, and my friends were kind of mesmerized. I'd bring out these awful looking machines to the courts, and they worked though.
Yeah.
And then that evolved into the prototypes that you see. And it's special because it solves such a strange problem so easily. You have a sheet of water in a massive square foot area, and the prospect of picking up that water is tremendously challenging. The components of this machine are uniquely organized and made of very, and I can attest to this, quality materials, and they're sourced from the United States at this time. We're thrilled about that. And they work in concert with one another to allow anyone to produce the results that you've seen. And the joy that it brings people is what's exciting for me. When you get to restart something that you're so passionate about so much more quickly than normal, it feels kind of like a miracle. And people like it like ASMR. They're staring at it like, I always get, where's the water go? What's going on under there? It's exciting. It's fun to see people smile about this. This is a pursuit about relationships. And so many people we've met, you're a great example of that are excited about the product because it solves this painful problem that's been in existence ever since tennis existed.
No, and you put it perfectly. It's such a nuanced issue, right? Like tennis players know very, very well, but honestly, outdoor basketball courts, I think any surface like this, when it rains, it's ruined. You just can't use it. And I cannot emphasize enough. We had 3 rain delays, I want to say, in that Golbus match yesterday, and both he and KP were getting frustrated, and then they saw the Vaptors out on court, and they saw how quickly they were able to dry the courts. And I think it made a tough situation a little bit easier. And again, I'm not saying is there a 10 minutes or less guarantee, but just that opportunity, that ability to, again, go out there, dry off. It's real, is what I'm saying. This isn't some fluke thing, right? This is, time tested. You mentioned it, a year and a half. We were talking in the car. I hope he's not on Shark Tank, because if he is, I don't want to have to compete with Mark Cuban for this idea. Mark Cuban's got the money, the cachet, but it just feels like this is a needed product, right, in the tennis community.
I couldn't agree more. And let's be exceptionally clear and honest that this is for hard courts.
Yeah.
You spoke briefly about that, but making sure people understand it's not for clay or for hard true.
Not yet.
Well said. Hopefully we get there.
Yeah.
But for now, hard courts, and the beautiful part is there's an ancillary benefit. And not only are we picking up that water, but we're also very gently cleaning the courts.
Yes, there were no scratches. That's the key too. No damage.
Beautiful,
right?
Beautifully said. So the components you have in contact with the court are completely safe for the surface. They're not. It's not a heavy device either. Approximately the 60-pound range. It's beautifully gentle on the paint, which your court installer and maintainer would be thrilled about, versus blowers or heavy equipment, etc. And because rain comes fairly regularly and people will be using it fairly regularly, you'll be gently cleaning your court. You know, there's mold that forms, there's little particulate, et cetera, and this machine was able to pick that up and then dispose of it when you are so easily dumping the water. So I agree. Tennis, I think, will be massively changed by this. If you think about the prospect of how many hours of so many people's lives at tennis tournaments, et cetera, would cut down on that wasted time, which is extremely valuable in everyone's perspective. Pickleballers are we're interesting people. Like we don't want to wait 4 minutes for the court to be dry.
I've dabbled in some pickleball in my day. I agree. There's a lack of patience, I suppose, on that court. You're ready to fire that wiffle ball, keep going.
You're correct. So
Just no water in the kitchen. That's one of the rules. Everyone knows.
Couldn't agree more. So that's good. I think you said it. There's a lot of potential for this machine to change the face of the frustration that comes, and the difficulty, the arduousness that comes with drying courts. And I'd like to say problem solved. We'll rely on our customer base to let us know if we've actually solved the problem. But the results seem to be coming in. This looks very promising. People are excited about it.
Absolutely. And we see on screen, by the way, Sasikumar takes the early break, so he now leads 2-love. Looks like we may be headed to a third set, but just a couple of questions for you, and then I'll let you enjoy the tennis. Again, I sent out a little tweet last night of you guys on court using the Vaptors in action. I'm saying it right? It is the Vaptor.
The Vaptor roller is the proper name. Okay. Vaptor's pretty catchy, so that's usually what it's going by.
It's the Vaptor Raptor. We're going to get there eventually, I promise. That's trademarked, by the way. But no, to your point, over 10,000 views immediately on Twitter. And I saw an Instagram video that had 75,000 as well. And the amount of times I was tagged in the tweet, because there was a lot of rain in Cincinnati yesterday, at Western and Southern, at Cincy Tennis. Can you guys buy these ASAP? And for all these different clubs, because again, summertime, prime time tennis tournament season, prime rain season in a bunch of different places as well throughout the day, that can just ruin your order of play as a tournament director, or ruin your camps as someone who is running a high level or high volume tennis camp. And so, again, for people out there who see the Vaptor product and right away they want to learn more, what can they do to contact you to get themselves potentially set up with some Vaptor equipment?
Those are great questions. If you very specifically go to the website, fill out the form.
And that's vaptr.com, Vaptor.com.
Yeah, so that's correct. Thank you. We as a company are being faced with some very important decisions in light of things like you've created here, Alex. We have a lot to be thankful for based on what you're doing.
Just remember that when Cuban approaches you.
Okay, got it. I'll keep you in my Rolodex. So we have some important decisions before us as things are starting to become, we'll call it interesting.
Blossom a little bit.
Yeah, blossoming, that's a great word. So we're working very hard to make sure that the quality of the product that you've seen and how well it works is exactly what you'd be able to purchase. And we're moving forward with manufacturing. I think, again, importantly said, there are some decisions we're going to be making very soon in terms of distribution of this machine to the right channels, people that are going to benefit from this. We certainly understand many hands makes the work light. You can easily figure out how many Vaptor rollers are going to be right for you based on the time that you feel you can wait for a court to be dry, based on the performance of the machine. So without being too specific, I would say we are absolutely on target to move forward with getting machines in people's hands as soon as we can.
That is what we love to hear. I will say specifically, I had 3 college coaches. I won't say who, because I don't want people to know who's texted me, but 3 coaches reach out immediately and say, what is this? Who's it from? How can I contact them immediately? And I know they're just going to be the first of many, whether it's a tennis club, whether it's, again, the big events. If you're the U.S. Open, it's time for Vaptors. It just is. And, you're phrasing dry courts faster. I just think you guys are on the forefront of all racket drying technology. So, again, anything else we can do as a tennis community, seem to be embracing this product right away. Anything we can do to support you?
Fantastic question. I think us getting our arms around the market, that's really the key. So anything people have to say, once we get them in hands, that's really critical, where we start to get feedback from customers. But we've used these enough to know they are what you see in the video. It's that simple. You start rolling and you're drying, and it's 95% dry. So from a design perspective, we feel like we've nailed it. It's really just about manufacturing, distribution, making solid decisions as a company there, and making sure that the customer is thrilled with their product. That's our heart desire.
No, and I think that's going to be an easy thing. Now, two last things before I let you go. One non-serious question. I feel like you're John Cena without the steroids. That's my comparison for you. I have to imagine you've heard that before.
Someone about 12 times, 3 times here just at this event. I think I'd like to meet John.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be on his nutritional program, but
Sure.
maybe I could learn a few tips, maybe be a stunt double. I'm not sure.
I like it. No, I think you could absolutely get in there. And of
I'm
course,
his younger brother.
yeah, that's what I love to hear. No, it's freaking awesome. Actually, this is what I'll take. No, see, again, I believed it though. But no, my final question to you, and again, do I have your permission? Spread the word about Vaptor, because again, my Twitter, my phone is blowing up. People are curious about it. I know it's VAPTR Vaptor.com. But it's time to spread the word, right? This product looks good. It seems ready to rock and roll.
Yes, you may. Thank you for that.
Thank you, of course.
All of the viewers, absolutely be talking about it. Our next 2 months are going to be very interesting as we seek to get this to our customers and have these delays. Someone at the Naples Open, they said something so funny. The gentleman on the sideline said, "It deletes the water." That's such a good term, 21st century term. So anyway, we're thrilled about this opportunity. Thank you for the time that you've given us and the exposure. We look forward to seeing people use it and posting their testimonials.
Of course, again, Justin Stewart. It's Vaptor.com, VAPTR.com. Thank you for supporting this event. And again, I think you solved something. I don't know. It goes like light bulb, running water, Vaptor. That would be in the evolution stages, my 3 biggest inventions.
Come on, you heard it here first, folks.
Exactly. But Justin, thank you so much. Of course, take care, my friend.
Alex, thank you so much.
So, of course, again, Justin Stewart from Vaptor, VAPTR.com. I was sincere. Doesn't get much better than the product they are inventing. But, of course, while we were talking about that, we missed out on some interesting tennis. It's only a 1 break of serve deficit, but Mukund Sasikumar responds to that first set adversity, puts some returns in the court, gets them deeper in the court, is able to earn the 3-love lead. Now, again, it's only 1 break, and we see Hutch working his way back. I missed him. I wish you could see his stride right now on his way over to the desk. But for now, Smith serving love 3 near side of your screen. Yeah. A little bit wide. Again, a flipping of the script. Here, and a huge thank you needs to go out, by the way, to our friends at Vaptor, our friends at Racquet Bar, Lotto Elite, MK Law Firm, USDA Middle States, Berks County Tennis Association. Takes a mountain. For an event like this, takes a full community. This community has thoroughly embraced this event. Fun crowd here on hands for a Wednesday at noon. They're hoping to see a 3rd set breaker here as well. Roy Smith, 15 all down, love 3. Only 1 break, but again, fast 4 format. Things certainly getting tricky. Meanwhile, again, Sasikumar just seems to have found his rhythm here, catching that return early. He's putting some pressure on Smith, not yet giving him those easy +1 opportunities. Joining us now back in the booth, just in time for Roy Smith hold. There always seems to be a Roy Smith hold whenever you're with me, Hutch, but we did see him broken for the first time by Sasikumar, and that fits the script, right? For Mukund. It feels like anytime he's dealt with adversity in this tournament, he's responded.
Yeah, he plays really well under pressure. When he's behind, he's not giving up. And he played a couple great surface points when he was at deuce. So, yeah, Sasikumar is coming on. This has the feelings of a third set.
So now I'm guaranteeing a second set tiebreaker, right? We're going to get the break back right here now. 15 love here for Sasikumar. Oh, yeah.
Oof. Little brain fart there.
Yeah, to say the least.
To say the least.
I suppose that's what happens when you build the 3-1 lead. But in this fast four format, it's always worth reiterating. 3-1 is really not that big of a lead. It's one break of serve, you're on serve, your opponent breaks and holds again. All of a sudden, you find yourself in a deciding tiebreaker. And of course, again, I think that first set, Mukund, safe to say, just did not play his best tennis. But he's starting to force Roy on his back foot a little bit more. We haven't seen a lot of Roy Smith on his back foot here this week.
No, you're right. He's getting Roy moving around the court on his back foot. Yeah.
And again, I know you were out there chatting on the grounds. We still on schedule to play that final pretty quickly.
I think we are.
Immediately after this match. So we hope all of you stick around. Winner of this, going to play Ernest Skolbus. Believe the expected format was 2 out of 3 sets. 2 out of 3 sets, full sets.
Full sets.
With a third set super breaker.
That's right.
But I'd also heard rumors they were considering switching to no ad scoring.
And I think I heard that too. I'm not so sure what our director Nar has decided.
Huh. That was nice.
Wow.
It's a pretty nice backhand there from Roy Smith. I know this is just such a little thing, and I don't know if this is the right word to use here, but there's a cadence that Roy plays with, the breathing and just the different steps and the intensity.
Wow.
He handles his business like a top 100 pro. Now, again, does he have the consistency of a top 100 pro? No, but I really am a fan of his routines.
Yeah, and he really backs Sasikumar up off the net there.
Just like that, break point chance for Smith. Get us back on serve here in set number 2, 30-40.
Good serve. Good first serve by Sasikumar under serious pressure here.
Yeah, that's nice.
And if I were Sasikumar, I mean, I've got a lead, and he's got wonderful hands. I'd get up to the net and see if Roy Smith can pass me or use my good hands up there. Put some pressure on him. You got to keep the pressure on when you're up.
Well said.
Yeah, sounds like a let to me.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasikumar asking, was that long? You can understand long, let. Very good alliteration, but no, Roy letting him know, no. Now, Mukund Sasikumar, 1 point away from sending us to a deciding third set breaker.
And Roy really needs to make that return.
Yeah, that was in the strike zone.
Yeah, that needs to be put in play.
It's also not a return we've seen him miss too frequently here.
No, he doesn't miss many of those. Then he kind of turned around and laughed. Yeah. It's funny, but it's not.
You know? Precisely. That's a nice return. Really, really nice. I think he heard you, Hutch. Makes up for it there.
Yeah.
Well, that works.
That works.
Another set point.
Oh boy. Yikes. That was less than a confident shot there at set point. Yeah, Sasikumar would love to have that ball back. Like a 60% effort on that one. About 100%, 110% on that one. Upset with himself, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yikes.
He had a couple of set points opportunities here, just uncharacteristic
Yeah.
for him to. Oh. Trying to watch the body language, the body language of Coach Martin for Sasikumar. Doesn't seem angry.
No, he doesn't.
But not exactly satisfied either.
He doesn't give you much, but yeah, that does not look like he's a satisfied coach.
No.
What I'm amazed at Sasikumar, that backhand, it comes over kind of flat and knuckleballish as opposed to with
Curious-ish.
Yeah, as opposed to with some shape to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Golbis, that definitely is rotating topspin.
Yeah, lacks the heaviness, but he places it super, super
And it's
well.
a beautiful looking shot.
Mm.
It just has some different rotation on the ball than I'm accustomed to.
Guides it so, so well.
I texted him that.
So he's going to go over? Someone take him over?
He has a car.
Another big return from Roy. Bravo.
He's getting PK hooked up with a doctor or a dentist.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. So my buddy's a sponsor here.
Uh-huh.
Good dentist. Shout out to Mark D'Agostino.
I like it.
And Mark's going to take good care of PK.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. We shot my college roommate, Michael Asparty, 4th year dental school, my dentist.
Nice.
That's why I've got these shiny teeth in me.
And a shout out to Mark. He and I play tennis every Friday in the summer for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was former #1 player at Drexel.
Ah, gotcha.
And I was like #3 in my neighborhood.
You're #2 in this commentary booth.
Yeah, thanks.
Just kidding.
But shout out to Mark, Dr. Mark.
Absolutely. We appreciate the care he's taken of our players. We appreciate, again, just the intimacy of this event. Whether it's the food runs, whether it's the cookies, whether it's the dental visits.
Ooh.
No expense is spared for our players. No expense spared here in this match. We're going the distance, Hutch. It was a slow start for Mukund Sasikumar. A little bit of drama there in that final service game as well. Mm-hmm. But trade 4-1 sets. Doohy and Roy Smith. We're going to have a third set super breaker coming up. Play 2-10, win by 2 winner. Going to have a date against Ernest Golbis to earn the biggest title of their professional career here at the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Of course, Alex Gruskin of Cracked Racquets thrilled to be joined, I haven't said it in a couple minutes, by the original Hershey Kiss, Don Hutchinson. Hutch, of course. Again, you look at the level we've seen from these two players thus far. It's been a very broken match. It felt like set 1 belonged to Smith. Set 2, I saw him play more off speed than I had ever seen thus far in these first 3 days. Is that more a testament to the effort of Mukund Sasikumar, or do you think that just was getting a little off by Smith?
Yeah, I think he took his foot off the gas pedal a little
Yeah.
bit. And you can't do that against pros.
Or in Fast 4, period.
Oh, yeah, especially in Fast 4.
Yeah.
Fast 4 against pros.
Yeah, it's no-go.
No, you got to really keep your foot on the gas pedal. What I mean is you really got to play offensive tennis. Try to win. You can't just sit back and, I'll try to see what happens during the points. No, you better keep up the offense and try to win.
No doubt about that.
And it looked like it was a little trying not to lose.
Oh, meanwhile, we do have women's wild cards out for the U.S. Open. Oh, shout out to the Venus Williams predictions. I made she does get a wild card. We'll get those wild cards to all of you in a little bit. But again,
no men's.
No, not yet. I imagine they'll come out momentarily. In the meantime, again, we're going to save that for the final. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, Hutch. Let's lock in on this semifinal third set breaker. Played to 10, win by 2. Yeah, a little bit long there. So the early mini break goes to Roy Smith. We've seen Roy play a third set breaker once here on the week. 0-1 in that breaker. He lost to Chris Eubanks. Was really a double fault and 1+1 error. Other than that, I think he held serve 6 of the 8 points or 9 points he played. 7 of the 9, we'll say. 10-8 means there were 9 serves for each. There we go. Good math. Meanwhile, Sasikumar was a third set 10-point tiebreak victory for him over Chad Kissel on night number 1 in singles. Take that number with a grain of salt, I suppose, but it's a big cut from Smith.
Yeah, he knows he missed one there.
That ball got up on him too, right? It's just, he didn't move his feet probably the way he should have. Easy to say here, but.
Yeah, and a little kick, but he knew he had a shot at that. Got to get that in play.
Especially second serve return.
Yeah, give himself a shot.
Mini break consolidated 2-love now.
Yeah, smart play by Sasikumar. Goes behind him. Gets him a little off balance. And now you can see the Roy Smith body language is not as it was. Two big points here coming for Roy Smith. Get himself back in this breaker. It's a little questionable on that first net shot. Thought that one might have been put over in Early's pool next door, but no. One serving 3 here. Just a little deep. Great catch by the ball guy.
Yeah.
Crowd gives him a great hand.
Well deserved.
Oh, wow. Sweet backhand. Nicest backhand of the match for Sasikumar. Now up 2 mini breaks here on the breaker. Now he's testing his forehand. I'm not so sure I do that with the second serve.
No doubt about that here, even with the mini break 4-1 lead.
Well, he did. And it worked for him. Yeah. Roy Smith not happy with himself about that one. Big kick Sasikumar had on that. It got up over Roy Smith's head and Roy 6-3. They're changing now at 6. They'll change sides.
5-1 here for Mukund Sasikumar. Again, winner of this has a date with Ernest Gulbis in the final of our Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Alex Gruskin, Don, Hershey Kiss, Hutchinson Hutch. I'm listing them all out here.
Yikes.
It's like, were you a Game of Thrones person?
I was not. I've actually tried to find it. I didn't watch it originally.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, well, one of these days I'll go back and watch a little bit of that.
Sure. Once you start, you won't stop.
Yeah,
But
I'm afraid of that.
yeah, exactly. And they list all of the titles for one of the main characters: Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains, all these different things. That's you. Or Father of Dragons.
Father of Dragons. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
At least
exactly.
not Mother of Dragons.
Yeah,
God,
exactly. I don't know how you identify.
Good serving by Sasikumar.
Yeah, no, he's seriously stepped up his game here.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Frustrated Roy Smith.
Coach Martin giving a couple little signals up there. Looking a little bit more intense, looking a little happier. Roy Smith looking for a couple big first serves here. Good serve. Two serving 6. Whew. That was sweet. Big right on the tee. That's exactly what Roy Smith needed to try to get back.
Very much so. 2 easy points for him on serve.
Now he's got to find a return.
Yeah, 3-6. It's 2 mini breaks here. That's the struggle for him, not just the 1-2 here. It'd be nice to just get one of them back in these 2-point stretch.
And he's going to see a second serve. Here's the time to attack and go after one.
Does he look to hit the forehand?
I wouldn't serve over that forehand side. Oh, and he does.
Yep, that's the one he needed.
Wow. Wow.
Great connection on that forehand return. Just hit it cleanly. And again, looking back, you may question that decision from Sasikumar. Why give him the floater to that wing? Why not at least force him to work for it?
Yeah. I think I would have gone body T there. See what he does here. Can Sasikumar still get a couple extra points to work with? Good aggressive point.
Good playing from him.
Yep. And Roy Smith is at the point where he needs serves. He needs points on his serve. He cannot afford to lose any more points on his serve. Oh, boy. Yeah, that was a bad double fault.
And just especially in that moment, you had worked to earn back that first mini break.
Yeah, he had one against Eubanks. He has one here. And those were really costly in the super breakers, match tie breaks. Yeah, I hate to see that. I mean, he's played so well since he's been here. And just a couple points, one in that breaker, one at this breaker.
No doubt about that.
I'm going to give Sasikumar some props. He stepped it up, played a real solid super breaker here.
2 points away from a date in the final. And we'll get to see that abandoned rubber potentially played between he and Golbis. That hurts.
Yep.
There it is. It's going to be Mukund Sasikumar taking on Ernest Golbis in our final as he comes back 1-4, 4-1, 10-4 win in the third set to advance to our finals. Before we wrap, get ready to go for that final match. I'll turn to you, Hutch. Any final thoughts?
Great comeback by Sasikumar. And I thought right near the end, Roy Smith kind of missed a couple serves, a couple of returns, and it cost him. In the short format fast four, you really have to be on your game all the way through, or at least on your game in that match tiebreak.
Yeah, no, it's again, it's a really, really good performance there from Mukund Sasikumar to find his rhythm, just put enough returns in play, ask enough questions of Smith to ultimately get over the finish line. But again, still one final match to go here at the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge. Ernest Golbis could be taking on Mukund Sasikumar. That match coming up in about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll be back with that action for our final match. But for now, for the Ultimate Hershey Kitch, Don Hutchinson, for super producer Daniel Westoff, I'm Alex Gruskin. You are watching the 2021 Lotto Elite Pro Tennis Challenge.